Okay, so our job is long-term flourishing. You and me, that's what we do. And we try to do it through helping kids master the material that we're tasked with helping them to master. The difficulty with mastery in any human endeavor is that someone who is going to master something needs to actually do work and do it with care. So there are probably ways to coerce some of this out of our kids, but certainly those are going to require a lot of effort on our part, and we don't have a lot of extra effort to spare. Plus, it's not really going to be a lasting change for our kids. It's not going to be transformational. And so, in this course, we're looking at how to affect the motivation to do work and do it with care through 5 key beliefs. 5 key beliefs. That's what the entire course is based on. Now, I've got some books over here. You can't see them, but, just got some books because they're kind of an object lesson and a simple fact. The 5 key beliefs that we'll talk about in this course are heavily vetted in both the empirical research and in just like kind of the classroom wisdom type research that a lot of popular teacher authors do. The thing is that they're not explicitly called the 5 key beliefs. So I'm actually calling these things the 5 key beliefs, but I would argue that they're woven throughout all the great books and literature about teaching. And I've actually not even come up with the core concept of these 5 beliefs. One of them is featured prominently in John Hattie's visible learning literature. That's the teacher credibility belief. And the other 4 are a key component of a framework that was developed by Camille Farrington and her colleagues at the Chicago Consortium. So this is not like a bunch of stuff that I randomly made up. And I think that's important for you to know because it gives you hopefully more of a reason to trust what I'm saying. So let's talk about each of the 5 beliefs briefly in turn. And we'll be examining each one of these in its own module. So we'll look at the research and more importantly what the research says we can do in a smarter, not harder fashion to affect these beliefs in our kids. Okay. First belief, teacher credibility. When kids believe that we're good teachers, they are more likely to do what we ask them to do and to do it with care. That's what we want for mastery. So what I love about teacher credibility is that it's so commonsensical and so powerful. If I can just get my students to believe that I know what I'm talking about, that I care about them, that I can take them to the next level, that I actually have a passion for my work. We'll look at all the components of teacher credibility. But if I can just get them to think that I'm a good teacher, then they're going to actually achieve more and better. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Teacher credibility. That's the first belief. Next belief, belonging. The belonging belief is all about helping students to find a fit between who they are, their identity, and who we are as a class, what we do as a class, the work of mastery building that we do as a class. We want students to see these as congruent. So Daphne Oyserman is a researcher who has a really cool theory called identity-based motivation. And what she says is that human beings are naturally drawn toward identity-congruent behaviors. So if you have a student who's saying, I'm just not a math kid, that's a belonging issue. That's the belonging belief. We'll talk about how to affect that in the module after teacher credibility. The third belief is the effort belief. So this one has been hugely popularized by Carol Dweck out of Stanford. So growth mindset is the effort belief. If kids don't think that they can possibly get better at memorizing the must-know dates of my world history class or at doing algebraic equations, if they just think that no matter what, I'm not going to get it, like I can't get better through my effort, it just doesn't work for me, then they're not going to put forth effort, and as a result, they're probably not going to arrive at mastery. That's the effort belief. A closely related belief is the efficacy belief. So the efficacy belief is the idea that I can succeed at this. You and I know this one very well. If we are confident that we're going to fail at teaching a hard to motivate student, that no matter what, we are not going to affect how that kid approaches our class, then guess which kid we're not going to try to motivate? We're not going to try to connect with that kid. Because if we don't think that we're going to succeed, we tend to just not even bother trying. And the same is true for our students. If they're confident that they're going to fail in our class or in school, then they're going to tend not to be able to muster their motivation to do work and do it with care. And then the final belief is the value belief. I love the value belief because the ways in which a human being can value a given endeavor, learning in biology. There are so many different ways that we can find value for that. And so in the value belief, we'll be looking at how can we help students develop robust, durable beliefs about value in our classes. Beliefs that are, by the way, deeper than just, well, I value this class because it gives me a grade or it's required for graduation. We're going to try to push our kids to come up with deeper valuations. So those are the 5 key beliefs. And what I like about this is that we can hold them into just 5 words: credibility, belonging, effort, efficacy, and value. That's important to me because we're busy. We've got a lot going on in our day, and we can't constantly be looking at a giant pile of books to decide what to do tomorrow. We've got to be able to hold something in our head. I also like about these 5 key beliefs that we can write them down in just 5 simple sentences. So I've included them below this video. And we can easily make a poster for the 4 student-facing beliefs. The last 4 beliefs are student-facing. We can easily make a poster in our own handwriting that we can hang in our class because I'm explicit with my kids about those last 4 beliefs. I'm explicit with them about the fact that they need to learn. They need to learn to believe those things if they want to have an enjoyable time and get to the long-term flourishing outcomes that they desire. The teacher credibility belief is not student-facing. Obviously, I don't sit there and try to explicitly convince my kids that I'm a good teacher. That would be awkward. So that's what I mean by student-facing versus not. So the reflective application exercise is below this video. Take that baby on, and I'll see you in the next lesson.